Hi, my name is Stefan Schwartz. I'm the product manager for Ironwood Machinery. I'm standing in front of the Ironwood SL300 sliding table saw. Some of the features that really stand out about this saw, we've got a 7.5 horsepower 3-speed main blade accompanied by a scoring blade as well, which is automatically adjusted via the controller up here on top. Weighing at about 2,500 pounds, all cast iron with an anodized aircraft aluminum table here. This is a 10.5-foot carriage, capable of cutting pretty much any size panel you'd want. So the advantage here is that the weight is distributed completely up and down, similar to the functions of a train track, so that over time you get zero lateral play in that slider going back and forth, and we're able to make long, consistent, straight cuts over the life of the saw. Taking a look inside the SL300, the main saw carriage right here, we've got cast iron tilt trunnions for an accurate, consistent tilt when moving the carriage back or forth, whether at 0 degrees or 45 degrees. Additionally, our main blade here is capable of 3 speeds behind a 7.5 horsepower motor. This saw is capable of housing a 16-inch blade to give you great projection over cutting through thicker workpieces, and our scoring saw in the front as well allows you for chip-free panel processing to give you a nice clean edge when you're trimming those panels up. We've got our Pro-Lock blade change on the main blade for easy access to our tooling changes, as well as a quick adjust light scoring unit here. With this, a small Allen key twist can allow that to move laterally open and close so that we can match the kerf of the main blade. This is a motorized adjustment laterally as well as up and down. So you'll see when I close the carriage door, the blade retracts back into its home position, and when I raise it back up, it moves right back to its memory home, aka working position for the saw. The controller is easy and intuitive to use, allowing you motorized access and control of 4 of the saw's functions here. We have blade height, blade tilt, rip fence, as well as the scoring saw up and down and left and right. With our functions button, we can program in basic operations and positions parameters for specific repeatable cuts that we're doing day in and day out. With automatic blade compensation, as I tilt the blade to 45 degrees, the saw itself will computerize the function for you and calculate out where the rip fence needs to be to adjust. So as my blade moves closer to the rip fence, as well as lower to the table, the machine will recalibrate for that same blade height and that same rip capacity at a tilted angle. On the motorized rip fence, we've also got a vertical and horizontal adjustable rip. So for doing my straight line rips or anything like that where I need a little bit more height clearance here, I can certainly do so, but automatically, as you pull your rip fence out and slide it down, there's a proc switch built right into the rip fence here to adjust for the added length or subtracted length. So as you adjust that, it flips the trigger so that now it knows that I'm closer to the blade because the dimensions of this are rectangular, not square. So as I tilt it down, it automatically knows where I am on the controller, and now I have my tilted profile so that I can have a blade tilt over here and stay out of the crash zone, or smaller veneer pieces as well. So because our SL300 has a motorized rip fence here to my left, this does create a potential pinch point here as well. And keeping safety in mind as always, we've got this added feature here that when the rip fence moves in, any person or object or anything in between this will automatically stop the movement of the rip fence. Another key feature of the SL300, as well as the other Ironwood sliders, is the reinforced pivot arm here at the bottom. This allows us to maintain a straight traverse cut line straight through the workpiece and hold stability as well. So this can support a ton of weight, and even with me sitting on it, it does not flex. So looking at our cross-cut miter fence here on the SL300, this is the exact same design as the SL200 as well. We've moved the fence to the front position because I don't have much adjustability back here with the pressure beam mounted, but here you can see with a couple of easy adjustments, we can compensate for any angles you want to hit, as well as moving the fence both backwards and forwards to compensate for the flip stops so that they're correct as well. So at a 10 degree, a 20 degree, a 45 degree angled cut, I can adjust my scale right here on the fence so that my flip stops also stay true at that angle. In addition to that, we've got a lot of mobility here on both flip stops, capable of supporting large workpieces and getting tons of cuts no matter the size. So on the crosscut miter fence, the adjustment's rather simple. We've got our manual scales right here for looking at the angles, as well as our compensation, which is right here. Locking the flip stops is into place, and with this magnifier here, you can easily see how to stay accurate and consistent no matter how many operators you have. So as I tilt this backwards, if I want to go to, let's say, a 15 degree cut, now I can adjust this to the 15 degree mark over here on this side so that I can maintain my flip stops and so that all of the dimensions stay fit and form. On a full scale here, you'll see that we can stretch out quite a long distance of ways to accommodate up to a 3,200 millimeter piece on the crosscut fence as well. On top of this as well is a pneumatic pressure beam as an additional option. This really helps you clamp down and stay secure when you're doing long straight line rip cuts, or you even have heavier panels, thinner material that's able to slide. And this is controlled pneumatically with the front and back having independently adjusted pressure axes. So just by flipping the switch of that, I can clamp that pressure down up to 6 bar and hold the workpiece firmly in place. We've also got on-off buttons at the end of the slider right here for easy on and offs when you're loading large panels and you're all the way back ready to make your cut. Again, I'm Stefan Schwartz from Styles Machinery. I'm the product manager for Ironwood, and this is the Ironwood SL300 sliding table saw.